Hello, boys and girls. Greg from the Scary Spirits, and it's time to make you another cocktail. This week's cocktail is the Atomic Cocktail, and as always, is the featured cocktail in today's episode. I'm going to start with a mixing glass. To that, we're going to add cognac. 1 1/2 ounces. Next, vodka. 1 1/2 ounces as well. Dry sherry. 1 teaspoon. A teaspoon. Oh, I have that on here. There we go. That's just a dash. There, 1 teaspoon. And we're going to mix it. We're going to pour it into our cocktail glass. And then we are going to top it off with sparkling wine. And there you have it, boys and girls, the Atomic Cocktail. Not bad. Pretty boozy, because it's all booze, boys and girls. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the podcast. See ya.
Sometimes a horror movie will capitalize on the fears of its time, and this week's episode of the Scary Spirits podcast, X the Unknown from 1956, does just that. Atomic bombs and radioactivity stoke the fears of everyday people. And guess who gets to be the hero in this scenario? The scientist. You gotta love that. My only issue is the men of science figure everything out way too quickly. They get all the right answers on the first try. That's just not realistic. Or could it be I'm just jealous that the movie scientists were better at science than I ever was? Surely that can't be it. Cheers.
Welcome to the Scary Spirits podcast. Please be advised that the presenters may use adult language and/or discuss adult situations. This podcast is not intended for younger listeners or those that may be easily offended. So, if you're ready, let's go.
Hello, boys and girls. I'm Greg.
Hi, everyone. I'm Karen.
And welcome to the Scary Spirits podcast, the podcast that combines the two very different but highly compatible worlds of scary films and alcoholic spirits.
What could possibly go wrong?
Indeed. How are you, Karen?
Feeling a little down, Greg. Not gonna lie.
Oh, no.
What's the matter, Karen?
Well, I saw my first crush in concert, and he still didn't want me. Didn't want me at 12, doesn't want me now. I had to come back home. So I'm just dealing with a little, ego problem. Still just didn't look into the audience. That's you, Sean Cassidy. Did not look at me and go, oh my God, there she is. It's the one. Like I was pretty sure was going to happen at 12 until my mom crushed my dreams and wouldn't let me go to LA by myself to find him. So there you go. But I'm going to struggle through. How are you, Greg?
I'm okay, Karen.
See, your first crush didn't reject you yet again.
Well, no, I didn't. I was thinking they're way too old for me now, Karen.
That sounds
The ones-
really, that
the
sounds
ones that are
really
alive.
bad. That sounds really
I'm
bad.
just saying. Now I have to look her up. Julie Newmar. How old is
You know
Julie
what?
Newmar?
That's
She's
what I was gonna
92
tell-
years old.
I was going to tell you what he was talking, Sean Cassidy was talking about, that he was our first crush. And he said his first crush was a girl in grade school, blah, blah, blah. And then he goes, and then I saw Batman.
Yes,
And he goes,
exactly.
Julie Newmar. And he goes he goes, men in the audience, look it up. Anyway, I laughed because I knew about you and Julie Newmar, and he mentioned Julie Newmar, and it was just funny. It's like, oh yeah, that's what I was going to tell you, and I kept forgetting what it was until you just brought it up right now. She's gone. I remember her passing, right?
No, she's 92.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
That compression suit must have added years. What film did you pick for us, Greg?
Oh, was it my choice, Karen?
It was.
The film I have chosen is a Hammer production from way, way back in 1956. A film called X the Unknown.
Is there a reason you picked it? Besides it's a Hammer film?
Not really, Karen, but it was released in the month of November. So I got that going for me.
When did you find that out?
Oh, about
15
10 minutes
ago?
ago.
I was going to say, way to make it happen. Nice.
And we did, well, this isn't really a sequel, but it was supposed to be. We'll get into it. We already did the quartermass experiment.
It's not the quartermass.
Oh, yeah. The quatermass experiment.
Don't make me correct you all night long. You know how much I enjoy that.
So I'm just going to leave all that in.
Damn it.
I also have a cocktail, Karen, if you'd like to indulge while you watch or we discuss.
Well, it is what we do. What's your cocktail this evening?
It's a cocktail called the Atomic Cocktail.
Nice. Very appropriate.
It is, Karen. It's a legendary 1950s cocktail hour libation.
Of course it is.
Stories place its origin in 1953 Las Vegas as nuclear tests are being conducted at the Nevada test site.
How would we make it?
Well, Karen,
If we're not in Vegas at the atomic test site, those of us a little further away, what do we need?
we're going to need 1.5 ounces sparkling wine, 1.5 ounces cognac, 1 teaspoon dry sherry, which is just a splash, really, and 1.5 ounces of vodka. Did you notice that's all booze, Karen?
I did notice that.
Okay. I just did today. So we're going to stir the cognac, vodka, and sherry in a mixing glass. You can substitute dry vermouth for the sherry if necessary.
It was necessary.
Then we're going to pour still booze. Then we're going to pour into a cocktail glass and then add the champagne or sparkling wine.
I didn't have sherry. You had sherry?
Duh. Yes, I have sherry. I've had sherry for decades.
14 years. You finally pulled it out of the back of that liquor cabinet.
No,
Yes.
it was open, so we've used it before for some reason.
You usually use it to cook, don't you?
Maybe that's what I used it for. Maybe my gift of a wife said, "Hey, do we have any sherry?"
Well, I guess some people do drink it.
I'm like, well, hell yeah, we do. It's been down there, and I'm just looking for an excuse to use it. It was a gift. I remember now. It was a gift at a Halloween party. A friend brought it and said, here.
Somebody brought their sherry that they had had in their closet for 10 years.
Yes, exactly.
Well, I'm sure I don't have that, so there
Just
you
a
go.
teaspoon. That's why it lasts so long.
Lasts forever.
You only use a teaspoon every time. Not really, I'm sure, but all right, Cameron, should we give our friends and listeners time to make their own?
Time to dig out the sherry from the back of their liquor cabinet. Let's do that.
Atomic cocktail. Hold on. And we're back.
Yes, we are.
Karen, might you have a brief synopsis for us of this Hammer production?
I do, and it's very brief, but I do like it.
Go on, tell us all the story from 1956.
A creature made of radioactive mud-like substance escapes from the center of the earth and terrorizes a Scottish village.
Thank you, Karen. We are a match.
It's succinct, but it's very accurate.
How did you spell center?
Centre
Centre. Yeah.
and terrorizes with the S.
Yes, with S's. It's very, very British, I think.
Yes, very upper crust British. Feeling very posh this evening.
All right, Karen, tell us everything you really enjoyed or were pleasantly surprised by in this film, if anything.
Well, I'll say this. I can appreciate the story. For the time that it was done, I can see where the imagination would go there. I think the special effects were pretty good for the time. I thought actually really good for the time. Story's fine, acting's fine. I wasn't overly impressed, but it's fine. That's kind of all I have written. I don't have anything exceptional. Do you?
Exceptional? No, I do not. But it's a Hammer film, so it's got all the stuff. Usually the acting's pretty good, right? In Hammer films, costumes are pretty good, sets are pretty good,
I guess, but not as good as the opulent
effects are
gothic.
pretty good. Usually, I'll get to that later.
I didn't hate them though. I could see where they would be shocking at the time.
It's 1956. I shouldn't pick it
Nitpick.
apart
Yeah.
for that, but I will
Well,
shortly.
it's what we do.
I mean, that's
The science isn't terrible.
okay. Well,
You
that's
know,
good.
it's not great, but it's not horrifyingly awful like some movies are.
We got lots of Geiger counter sounds in it.
Yes. Love a good Geiger
I'm
counter.
sure all our scientists will appreciate that. Are you going to tell us once again at some point all about the Geiger counter?
A
Karen?
little bit, because I know we've talked about it before, but we're going to review.
Yes, we have. But that's all I wrote. I mean, it's fine. It's short.
It is.
There's a pretty large cast, but most of them are not important.
I'm sure they're thrilled to find that out.
Well, they're not. I mean, but if you look at like the Wikipedia page and you look at the cast, there's like 20 people listed.
Yeah.
More than 20.
Oh, speaking of the cast, there is one thing I have written here that I liked. There's no unnecessary female in it. There's not, there's no love interest that gets stuck in the mud and has to be saved or rescued.
I'm trying to think of the females. I'm thinking, oh, there was one. Oh, and then there was another. So I think there were only 2 females in the whole thing.
But they're not main characters just
No,
to have a
not at all.
female in there as someone who needs to be rescued. There's a couple of nurses or whatever, but I just,
Well, only
Either-
2 females have speaking lines, I think, in this whole thing.
if she's going to be in there, give her something to do. There's a lot of times in these old movies like this that they're just in there for no reason. So I kind of like that they just said, we're not going to have that.
Well, I could argue that one is in there for no reason, but I guess they gotta get down to the radioactive, the X-ray room somehow. So,
I'm talking main characters. I'm not talking side characters.
well, yeah, there are no female main characters.
I know, and normally I would be like, well, there's no female main characters in it, but at least there's not the token female who has to be, her high
But
heel gets
it's
stuck in the mud and they have to go back and get her. And,
true.
that
The
whole,
damsel in distress whole
yes,
thing.
there's
I mean,
that
it's a
trope is not in.
1950s military war movie, kind of, really. So,
Yeah, but there could have been still scientists. There could have been a female in it, but
at least a lab assistant.
yes. So I'll say I'm disappointed in that, but also I enjoyed that they didn't just throw one in there for no reason, give her nothing to do.
All right. So, what were you really disappointed in, Karen? What did you especially not like?
As short as it is, I thought it was kind of boring a little bit. Like things dragged a lot. There isn't much to the whole story. Not a lot to figure out, no mystery, it's very straightforward. This is happening. They figure everything out very quickly, which is fine, but there's no, I don't know. It seemed long even though it was short. The main guy is American. Everyone else is Scottish or British or something. And they never explain why he's American. It's kind of weird. It's not a big deal, but it stood out to me that he didn't have a British accent and no one says anything about it. Other than that, I mean, was this before or after the Blob? Was this before?
I gotta think it's before, but maybe not. I mean,
it's got a similar vibe to that. The creature itself.
It is before. It is the Blob was 1958. This is 1956.
Okay, so it's very Blob-like, and it's not very scary unless you know about radioactivity. Because if it was really that radioactive, it is very scary. But the creature itself on film isn't. It's like the Blob. It's not terrifying unless you really think about it. So I don't know. So good on them for being the Blob before the Blob.
True, but I'm sure we can go even back farther and find some really, really low budget
Maybe
film that incorporated the same kind of thing. I think the Blob is better than this, personally.
Oh, I do too, but I'm saying it's got the same kind of feel to it. It's this thing moving towards you that isn't, because you can't see radioactivity. They didn't even make it glow or anything. They didn't give it any kind of, and I watched the colorized version. I don't know if
I
you
did too.
Where for a while, to be honest,
it glows at the end.
Yeah, but there were some times in the colorized version where it would not be colorized and they would be like gray. And I thought it was something that the creature was doing to them. Like when it was close, they were grayish. But then I realized it was like, no, it was like a filter. Like sometimes they moved and they're like, sometimes their hands were gray or something.
Or their face or forehead.
Yeah, and so
or
I thought, I thought, oh, that's cool. They're making it do something to them. And then I realized.
You're saying friends and listeners should watch the colorized version.
Adds a little more oomph. I don't know. I think it's fine. I can't, but radioactivity is actually very scary stuff to be around. And there are a couple times, like the first scene where they're looking for the radioactive thing with the Geiger counter and they just pick it up. And I'm going, well, that's just not right. You can't just pick that up, and then it turns out it's safe radioactivity.
Yeah, it's harmless radioactivity.
And then I was like, oh, okay. But I've spilled radioactivity on stuff on my shoes before, and I never got them back because there's a half-life of how long it can decay. So I've lost shoes and clothes to radioactivity, but you never, like even in the lab, he's behind that glass. It has to be plexiglass. Like but again, I don't know what protocols there were back then. I don't know if they really knew anything. There's all those women that worked on those watches that got cancer and things from the luminescence. So who knows?
That even comes up in it, actually,
Yeah.
which I didn't even mention, but there you go.
So protocols must have been very different. I mean, we had to wear tags, and the tags got read every month. And if your tag was too high, you weren't allowed to work with it for a while. It was very different, I think. But he just pulls it out of the ground. I'm like, that's not right. I was very upset by that. And then that was the safe stuff.
I
So
kind of figured you would be, Karen.
you could hear me yelling all the way from Columbus. Anyway, what do you got? Is there anything you didn't like?
So the only thing I wrote down prior to us recording was there's bad effects.
Really? I
And it
didn't
took
think
me a
so.
long time to get to that even. When the telephone lines, when the blob is coming like near the end and
Well,
the
there are
telephone lines
miniatures
collapse
for
and
sure.
there's sparks and shit. I mean, it's pretty bad, Karen. Well, the miniatures didn't bother me. That was fine. But
You didn't
this
like the melting people? That was pretty
that was
good.
fine too, but this
The
um
blob. Well, you hated the
the
blob too
blob
for the
was
same
fine, I
reason.
guess it is.
No.
No, it was the telephone lines dropping and sparking. Because they looks like they like drew on each frame of the film.
They might have.
It was very, 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 very early what would become CGI.
No. See, it didn't bother me. I
And
thought the effects were fine.
as soon as I saw that, I'm like, oh my God. I would have liked it a lot better if they just left that scene out. But they didn't know that we would be watching it now in 2025. I'm sure they thought we would all die from radiation or something. The
Yes.
atomic bomb. I also wrote, it felt rushed.
You thought it felt rushed? I
Just
thought it took
only because
forever.
they like figure everything out very quick. Everyone knows exactly what's going on. There's nothing
Yeah,
really to
but
be
this
solved. But
that's
it
true.
did feel long because it was slow and it took a long time getting to the blob. And that's what you want to see is the blob. What
Yeah,
is
he
this thing?
he figures it out like almost immediately. Like the X-ray room, you can't get in or out, and he's like, "Oh, well, it must have come in the screen."
Yeah,
Like who goes right to that? When
immediately.
it's bolted to the wall and things
And
like.
then he talks
And
about, well, how large is 1,000 gallons of oil?
and
It's
I think there's an unnecessary storyline with the head of the institute and the son. The son wants to be a scientist, and the father doesn't want him to be. And the son looks like he's about 40 years old,
no, he
30,
doesn't.
35 years old or something. It's like, let it go, Dad. Let him be a scientist. He wants to
Oh
do
yeah,
that.
he's definitely like I would. I was going to say 32. So
He, okay, whatever. But I thought that whole storyline was completely unnecessary. In fact, you didn't need really the head of the institute, or there were
yeah,
just lots of people in it. It's like they were trying to,
I didn't even know what to call those people.
yeah, like they were doing the stretch it out kind of thing. So
Yeah, we could have done without them.
I think so.
I put him in there because the son goes and almost sacrifices himself at the end and whatnot. And
Yeah,
we get the human.
and I'm surprised there wasn't a woman involved in that because that's maybe there was and they cut her out or something because that's the guy who would have the love interest, that
Yeah,
young guy.
yeah. I thought the other guy was him for a long time, and I'll try to correct myself as I read my notes. But I thought the guy who ended up with the nurse in the X-ray room, I thought he was Peter for a long
Oh,
time until he died, and then I'm like, oh, this must be Peter. But that's all I have. Again, I'll say the blob is better.
I think the story was probably very timely and quite imaginative for that era.
Okay. All right, Karen. How many cocktails do you want to give this film?
I think it's a 4. It's not a bad 4, but I don't think I'd
I
watch
know.
this one
I'm
again.
I'm almost offended because you're giving a Hammer film a 4, but I'm kind of like, yeah, it kind of is.
It's fine.
It's fine, but
And if you're trying to get through the Hammer list, it's not a skip. Like, I wouldn't recommend that you don't watch it, but I also don't think I would watch it again.
it's very early Hammer. It's like the second Hammer horror film.
And
Or
as we've talked about before when we were watching last week's movie, I don't have a ton of experience watching these kind of movies, although I do like those old B horror films. But I like them because they're campy and they're not silly's not the right word, but I enjoy them. This one I don't think has that campiness. It was serious. So I enjoy the ones that are just way out there. This one was, I think, serious.
yeah, this is the unofficial official second horror film Hammer did.
Okay. I think the Quatermass
Slash
was better.
science fiction. Oh, I agree. And this was supposed to be the sequel, but for whatever reason, they could not get the rights to use the character Quatermass
Oh,
from the
okay.
original writer of whoever owned the character would not give
Huh, that's
the rights
interesting.
for this.
You think he'd want the cash dollars.
You would think,
I,
but
I
maybe
guess some people have integrity, Greg.
Hammer wasn't. No, it's 56. This was their second horror thing.
Yeah, but they did the first one.
And they did a good job with it, I would
I
say.
thought so.
But
You would have sold.
the author probably wasn't very happy with it.
Oh, that could be true. Didn't have their vision. I'd still sell it.
But Quatermass 2 does come 1 year later, Karen.
Oh, it does.
It does.
So we
So-
still have that on our
Oh,
list.
yes. Yes, we still have that.
Can't wait.
And there's also one like 10 years later, Quatermass in the Pit. So we'll get to that
So
one
he
as well.
lives. Obviously, he lives.
Apparently, unless it's a flashback.
But this too. Okay, just having said that, this definitely has sequel potential.
Well, yeah, it does.
So we'll go with that.
It's kind of a cliffhanger, isn't it, Karen? You
Little
didn't say
bit.
you like that.
I know. I'm circling back around.
All right. Would you like to hear a review, Karen? Not from the time, but a review.
Oh, I think this one needs to be reviewed at the time.
I do too, but I could not find one.
I understand, but I think that any of us looking back, especially in this era that the film was made, I think it's a disservice because I don't think we completely understand the circumstances. But I still don't think it's a great movie, but I think it's harder to review it without knowing what's going on in the world at the time. But yeah, what do you got?
Well, first, I have to tell you, Karen,
Uh-oh.
this is a 6.1 out of 10 on IMDb.
Wow.
Oh, you're impressed by that?
It's higher than I thought it would be.
Okay, well then, hold on. It's got a 67% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
See, I think some people like this stuff.
What do you think our Google users think, Karen?
74%.
89%, Karen.
Wow, really? 89? How many
89.
how many Google reviews
I have
are
no
there?
idea, but it's 89% of them.
That's crazy. See, that's what I mean. I think if you like this genre, I bet you know what? I think you'll like this movie. I don't think I appreciate it enough.
I agree. If you like science fiction, like the blob like kind of stuff and whatnot,
Well,
1950s
or just
science fiction.
it's almost history.
Like if you like to go to, it used to be Disney MGM Studios. I don't know what it's called now. And you like to reserve your lunch in the science fiction drive-in restaurant. This is for you.
But it's almost like, you know how there's folklore horror and there's slasher. This is almost history horror. If you're a history buff and you like to, you learn things while watching it about the time. But I'm not a big history fan, so it kind of all goes over my head.
Review I have is by Dennis Schwartz, and we've done his reviews before. And it's from August 5th, 2019. I think that's when like a DVD or something came out. I'm sure. So he writes, a Hammer entry, one of their better efforts, is a gloomy hokum sci-fi thriller about a mysterious radioactive force that erupts in the Scottish Highlands. Well, I should have said I liked that it's set in the Scottish
I
Highlands.
know. I don't know why you did. There was no tartan, though.
No, there wasn't, but there's lots of Scottish accents.
Yes, there are.
And becomes a creeping mass of mud, taking on any shape or size. It sets the panicky scene by focusing on the fearful Brit attitude about the Cold War and the possibility of a nuclear attack in the 1950s. Initially directed by Joseph Losey, but he bowed out early on, supposedly due to an illness, and was replaced by Leslie Norman. The real reason the blacklisted exiled American Losey left the film was because right-wing star Dean Yager refused to work with the commie Fink.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. I haven't read this before, Karen, so I'm like,
That's
all right, go ahead on, Dennis.
abrupt.
Jimmy Sangster handles the screenplay, the first of many he did for Hammer. Gerald Gibbs does an excellent job in photographing in a dark monotone.
We
We
didn't
didn't
know
watch
that.
monotone. Yeah, we didn't do that. That plays well with the understated hysteria desired by the filmmakers. While I was watching it, I'm kind of like, this might be better in black and white, but
I think so, actually.
it came just after the he even spells it quartermass. The Quatermass
Come on,
experiment.
people.
It came just after the Quatermass experiment found favor with the public and follows the same formula. 2 years later, the Bob was similar, but though less intelligently conceived, profited more by having a more dynamic actor in Steve McQueen
Yeah, that he
be
was
the
good.
lead rather than an unemotional Dean Yager or Jager or whatever. That must be the doctor.
Is he the conservative actor? Must be because the other one didn't get to work on the film.
I don't know. The story begins with Brit commandos on maneuvers in Scotland's moors, attacked by the unseen mud and returning with mysterious burns on their bodies. The authorities call in an atomic scientist, Dr. Adam Royster, played by Dean Yeager, and he's visited by Police Inspector McGill and asked to save the day before the radiation thing destroys the world. There will be other casualties caused by the monster that include a child going into the marsh and dying from radiation burns,
I was surprised by that.
2 soldiers on guard duty at the monster sighting in the marsh succumbing to radiation, a doctor in a nearby hospital done in when the monster creeps into his lab room through a vent, and some civilians melted down in their cars. Royston's laughable explanation is that the monster, living in a fissure in the marsh, was dormant for 50 years, but since radioactivity is more prevalent in today's society, it has food to feed on to sustain its life. Yeah, whatever. Despite its absurd
Which he
storyline,
figures out immediately, like we
yeah,
said. So
despite its absurd storyline, it's a surprisingly entertaining film that won't deaden your brain cells, even if it's a trashy B movie sci-fi. The special effects are certainly not up to modern speed, but for its time, it serves the low budget film well.
see, I think that's
Yes.
what kind of sets it apart. When we were watching, what was the one where Bela Lugosi was wrestling the octopus?
Was that Plan 9, Karen?
No, you remember, but he was moving the octopus around and the legs. He was the mad scientist where he had the hole in the floor and he could just whatever. That
Go
those
on.
special effects are horrible. And that's what makes the B movie a B movie. This might be a B movie, but its special effects are too good for that. That's where I'm like, I like the ones where Bella's on the floor making the octopus move, and, and it was a completely random octopus in there too. It just happened to be there. Bride of the Monster.
That's the one that had Tor Johnson in it too, the big wrestler dude.
Yeah. But that's where the special effects are so terrible. That's what makes it the B movie. These effects were too good for that. Even though it's a blob, there were still melting people and
And
they
Bride
had,
of the Monster came out in 1955, Karen, and this is from 1956. Look how far they've come.
yes, see? Or how much more money they
But
had.
that's not a Hammer film. And that's what I was
No.
going to say. So I expect more because it's a Hammer film. That's just
Oh, okay. Well,
the way I roll. So, but it's fine.
it's sci-fi.
It's like when he called it a trashy B movie sci-fi, it kind of hurt me, Karen. It kind of hurt. It's a Hammer film.
Well, not all Hammer films are as good as other Hammer films.
I don't think of Hammer as doing low budget, trashy sci-fi, but
Well, they did.
well, it's 1956.
Still not high budget.
No, not at all. I know.
It's no Plan 9, It
$60,000 US was the budget. But Karen, the next Hammer film officially classified as horror is The Curse of Frankenstein.
that's a vast improvement.
It is
Yeah.
with Peter Cushing.
Yeah. That's when they found their groove.
Yeah, let's do monsters. Let's get away from this science fiction bullshit.
Well, it's a little science fiction in there too, but a touch.
All right, 4 cocktails. That means it took us 4 cocktails to get through it. I wish I would have had 4 cocktails. My first one went very quickly.
4 cocktails in an hour and what, 15 minutes? Well, I guess
Well,
that's not terrible, but
so
for me, it would be a lot. For
Karen,
you,
I watched it at 1 1/4 speed, so it was only like 62 minutes for me.
Oh, okay. So there. But would 4
And it
drinks in an
still
hour
felt long.
would do me in? Would 4 drinks in an hour do you in? Nah. Would it? Might, depending on what they
Or
were.
beer, well, depending on what they are, yeah.
Yeah.
Before we go to it scene by scene, Karen, would you like to tell us what you have chosen for next week's film?
I can't wait to tell you.
Oh my God, I've been waiting. I'm so excited.
Welcome to December.
December. Oh shit, it's December already.
I know.
All right.
Welcome to my December. We are going to do what is
Yeah, it's
probably
December 3rd, right? The next one?
Yeah.
Wow. All right. It's Ozzy Osbourne's birthday. Is it a film with Ozzy Osbourne in it?
It wasn't he only in that one?
Maybe.
I'm just going to help everyone out who's got an office party and has to do Secret Santa. Because this movie that we're going to watch is from 2015 and it is called Secret Santa. It's also called Chris Massacre, depending on where you find it.
Yeah. I see what they did there.
Yeah. I think it has like under $10,000 budget, so it's going to be interesting.
Do we have a cocktail to help us get through this film?
We do.
And what
And
would
it's
that
from Tequila O'Clock.
be? Oh, it's got to be good then.
I have no idea if this will play any role in the film, but it's the holidays, so we're having a candy cane margarita. Because, Greg, this will sweeten up any holiday event.
I'm sure it will.
I like their measurements here. I wonder.
I may want to take a flask of
All right, this
tequila.
is for. Well, this is for
candy
4.
cane margarita. Oh,
So here you go. I started to look at the ingredients. I was like, wow. So I looked up at the servings. So it's a mini punch. 3/4 cup of tequila, Blanco or silver. 1/4 cup triple sec or Contral. 1/4 cup lime juice, about 4 limes. 2 ounces of simple syrup, 2 ounces of grenadine, ice, and 2 candy canes for the rim. You're going to crush the candy canes. I like it.
of course you are.
Place the candy canes in a Ziploc bag and crush them with a rolling pin. I like that visual. Just go for it, people.
Or are they rolling? You're supposed to roll them.
No, you gotta if you have a little aggression that you need to get out, Greg, you can crush them with your rolling pin.
Okay.
Little pent up anger,
You do you.
Or you can put them in a blender and crush them, whatever. You put them on a plate, rub the lime wedge, you know the drill, rim the glass with the candy canes. So you're going to add all the ingredients inside a blender and blend until smooth. So this is not on the rocks. Adjust the thickness of the margarita if necessary by adding a little more ice. Pour the margarita into prepared glasses.
They act like it's a milkshake. It's not going to be thick.
Oh, it is. You have 4 cups of ice. Sorry, I think I just said ice. You're going to have 4 cups of ice. It's a frozen margarita.
So it's a frozen cocktail. Yeah. All right, I got you. Mike, I didn't hear any milk product in that description.
Nope.
Okay. Well, I'm sure we all look forward to that. We're starting the holidays off with a bang, Karen.
Yes.
We just skipped right over Thanksgiving, though.
Well, that was your choice. You didn't choose anything.
All right, Karen, are you ready to get into it scene by scene?
Let me arrange my papers here. Yes, let's do it.
All right. X the Unknown from 1956. Originally rated X in the United Kingdom. Later rated PG. And X again is like 16.
Where did you watch it?
I watched it on archive.org.
So did I.
I assume, since we both watched
Yes.
the colorized version. You have credits. And then there's words to read that say, the producers wish to acknowledge the cooperation received from the War Office during the production of this film. It's the Cold War, I think, Karen. We're right after World War II here.
You've just listened to half of this week's episode. Are you loving it? If so, can you do us a big favor and leave a review wherever you listen? Reviews help us grow the podcast. We just want to say thanks so much for your support. Now let's get back to the good stuff.
So then we see a guy with a Geiger counter in I can't remember what to call this thing. What is this thing called? I call it a pit, but I'm thinking
A crater?
that's not what it is. It's where did Fred Flintstone? A quarry.
Quarry.
It's a quarry.
So we'll just review quickly the Geiger counter. So Hans Geiger and Ernest Rutherford developed a primitive version in 1908 to detect alpha particles. The modern, more practical Geiger-Mueller counter was developed by Geiger and his student Walter Mueller in 1928, making it more robust and able to detect other types of radiation like beta and gamma rays. Subsequent improvements, such as the invention of the halogen-quenched tube by Sidney Levinson in 1947, further increased the device's operational life. But it's almost like he's out there with a metal detector. You know, he's kind of looking along the ground to try to find
apparently
something.
we learned they're members of the military being trained on how to use a Geiger counter to find
right away,
radioactive material.
I was like, he's in regular clothes. He has nothing protecting him at all. It's like, what is this farce? But then, yes, what happens?
But then the next thing I wrote is, oh, it's harmless radioactive material, Karen. That's
Yes.
the exact quote he says.
Well, so I looked up because I said to myself, there's no harmless radiation, but yet radioactivity. Harmless radioactivity is generally understood in the context of radiation safety as materials that pose extremely low or negligible risk when handled correctly, often emitting radiation types with low penetrating power, such as alpha particles, which is interesting because that's what the Geiger counter first.
But I'm sure X-rays are like harmless.
They're not harmless. Why do you think
I know
the
they
tech
put a
goes
big
around?
iron
Goes around and hides from you
when they X-ray my teeth. But yeah,
if you have too much of any of
but
it,
yeah,
it's
if
not
you're doing
good.
that like 5 times a day, every day, I can see
Yeah.
that.
Radioactive materials used for educational and training purposes are typically chosen for their low hazard levels when used in sealed sources or small controlled quantities. Alpha radiation is composed of heavy, positively charged particles that cannot penetrate the outer layer of dead skin and easily stopped by a single sheet of paper. Just don't eat them or inhale them. That's what it says. They're only significant health concern if ingested or inhaled. Low energy beta emitters the beta particles are more penetrating than alpha particles, but can be shielded by a few millimeters of aluminum or a layer of plastic or wood. So actually, if they were out there with a Geiger counter and they were looking for alpha emitters, it can't get through. They wouldn't go through the clothes. So they were right. I don't think they had gloves on,
Yeah,
but
and it was in a canister
it
that was
shouldn't have been
sealed.
able to come through that as an alpha emitter. But we're going with it, people.
All right, whatever. Apparently, there's something really radioactive in the pit because they sent a guy down there who hasn't gone yet, and there's a whole thing about
It's a
that. But
training thing. So each
whatever.
person has to go in and find it. So when everybody turns around, some guy buries the radioactivity thing, and then the next guy has to find it. And then there's one last guy. So he finds it. Everybody's like, yay, let's go home. And there's one more guy that goes, hey, I didn't get a turn. And you can hear, they're all like, ugh.
But anyway, then they hear something that sounds like thunder, and they all run away, Karen. And right here I wrote, oh, there's Michael Ripper. It's not his birthday or anything, is it? Because I could have chosen it because of that, because it's Michael Ripper.
But the kid that goes down, that they're all disappointed that they don't get to leave, they're all making fun of him. He's never going to find anything. And he's going in the totally wrong direction. But he has headphones on, and he kind of signaling, I found something, but he's in the total wrong place. So then it gets concerning quickly.
Yeah, and it is not right Michael Ripper's birthday. It's not till January.
Maybe
So
he's in the
then,
next one.
I don't know, we'll see. So then the ground cracks open and there is an explosion, Karen. And then we have a sign to read. It says, notice, it is strictly forbidden for any person to pass beyond this point by order, period, Director, Atomic Energy Establishment, Lockmouth, Scotland. Lockmouth, Scotland.
Yes, so there's a big crack in the land, and everybody's freaking out.
Then we're at some kind of laboratory, Karen, and this Dr. Royston is doing experiments trying to transport radioactive material. Well, at first I thought he was trying to transport it, but I think he's trying to neutralize it. Is what he's trying to do.
With the radio waves.
Yeah. And then he starts talking to John Elliott, who apparently runs the lab. I wrote, he must run the place. And then the doctor has to go out to the pit or the
Yeah, so he gets a
quarry.
message from the administrative guy, and it's like, they need you. They call him a couple times, and he doesn't go, and then he finally goes.
Then we see the doctor at the quarry, and I just call him the doctor from now on. He finds no radioactive material. Men who were involved in the explosion have burns on them. And one of the men's burns is in the shape of the rifle he was carrying, question mark. So we know it's like a wave form kind of thing.
So, sorry, we're front loading on all the information. Then I promise he's just going to go. Radiation burns are the result of exposure to high levels of ionizing radiation. The damage is not always immediate. Skin may appear red and puffy hours after exposure. The skin can turn a bronze color similar to a suntan. Then the burns can also appear and disappear cyclically, with initial symptoms fading before returning with more pain and blistering, which I thought that sucks. I mean, because you think you're getting better and then they come back. I mean, that's terrifying, but you do get burns from it. And in the film, that's I don't know, they must have known that, because the people get exposed and then they don't have a reaction until later.
Then we see a major apparently being questioned, I think, by the press, even though none of them are taking notes.
I think it's the press too.
They're
a
just
couple
throwing
of men.
questions. They'll remember his answers. It's weird, I thought.
They don't have any credentials on them or anything. It
No.
just seems like
It's
I
like
didn't. At first,
four
I
or
thought,
five random guys asking him questions.
are they men from the town? Like, what's going on? Then I realized they must be press.
So then the doctor calls for the major.
He wants to see, the doctor wants to see the two soldiers. He looks at them, and then he's going to talk to the major.
And we learn they don't know how deep the crevice is.
Yeah.
They throw a rock down and there's no
One of them says it's
Down.
bottomless. And I'm like, what does it go to China? What do you mean it's bottomless?
Then we cut to a couple boys in the woods. Well, I mean, we see the doctor and another guy driving in the car or whatever,
They
but
leave. Yeah.
cut to boys in the woods at night sneaking around.
Hmm.
Apparently, they're trying to
Daring
see if
each other to
some
do stuff.
old dude sleeps in the tower or something. I don't know.
They're double dog daring each other.
Yeah,
As boys do. I'm sure you were out in the middle of the night, double dog daring your friends to do stupid stuff too.
I did lots of stupid stuff in my day, Karen.
You didn't have to be dared. You
No,
just
I don't have to
did
be
it.
dared.
I'd go look and see if that guy was in the tower. No one needs to dare me.
That's right. And then we hear a Geiger counter sound.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
We
Like
see the boy run away,
he sees something.
and the other one follows him.
So that's the sound of the blob.
Yes.
It's like a Geiger counter sound,
Yes, it is.
there's no Geiger counters around,
No.
but that lets us know that it's there. And we don't see it for a very long time, but the kid
No.
sees it, runs off. It was kind of funny. Runs right
It's almost
past
like
his friend.
Medusa. Anyone who sees the blob is like
Yeah, burned. It burns.
dies.
Right. But not right away.
No.
But that kid took off running. I thought the kids actually were really good. They were good little actors. Because that kid just runs past his friend, and the friend's like, "What?" But he just follows him running because he doesn't need to know why. He's just going to run because his friend is running. It was funny, I thought.
Yeah, I think that was Willie. He didn't have very many acting roles after this, but his buddy did. So
I thought they were both good.
they're fine. They're obviously both Scottish because they talked the right ways. But then we see the boy being examined by a doctor at the hospital. He has first-degree radiation burns. Doctor talks to the parents. They don't know where he was last night. It's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your children are?
That would be where your mom would be. I don't know. I don't know where he was.
Well, she thought she knew.
That's true. I got into a very big fight with my oldest son when he was in high school. And I said, just give me the numbers of a couple of your friends, their phone number. Oh my God, he did not. I said, I'm not going to call them. I swear, I'm not going to call them. But I watch way too many Law and Order or Criminal Minds shows. They're going to come to the door and they're going to say, who are his friends? And I'm going to say, I don't know. I don't know where he is. I
See,
don't know
my
what his
son
friends-
was the exact opposite. Anytime he went anywhere with someone I didn't really know, he's like, here, you can call me. Here's his number.
See, I think he thought I was going to call them. He was convinced I was. I was like, we got this. I'm not going to call them, but the police are going to ask me who your friends are and what their numbers are. I need to have this. He finally relented.
Like
But it was-
in the garage on my workbench, I just would take a Sharpie and write it on the desk on the workbench. So I have like kids' numbers on the workbench, or in my phone. I'd put it in my phone.
That's so nice. See, you have such a nice boy. Of course, you
He's
don't
a
know
good-
if those. You don't know
He's
if
a
those
good
numbers
kid.
are
He
real.
really is. He really is a good kid. He's a better kid than I was.
He is a good kid. Mine are too, in case they're listening to this sometime in
Yours
the
are
future.
too.
Mine are good too.
One more than other. We'll let them try to figure it out. I'm kidding. All right. So they don't know where he was the previous night, but they tell him the name of the boy he was with. At least they know that, Karen.
Yeah, they knew that much. They knew who was gonna. It was those damn
So they
Sheedy
throw
kids.
Ian, yes.
Or those damn Canfields.
Exactly. So then the doctor goes to talk to Ian, because that's who his friend was. And of course, he's at church, Karen.
Right, they're in church, just like those damn Sheedy kids or the Canfields.
Yeah, they were both churchgoers when church was going on until their first communion. That was the Canfield's law. I don't know about the Sheehy's.
We went longer. But
Yeah, so-
confirmation.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. Confirmation?
That's 8th grade.
All right. Well, that's
Yeah.
how long the Canfields went.
Okay. Communion's second grade, so,
Oh, no. They went to eighth, I'm sure.
or third. Yeah, second.
All right. So Ian refuses to tell the doctor where they were because he swore an oath.
Yeah. He's a loyal kid.
Yeah, he's loyal, but doctor convinces him that, things
Your
have changed. So
your
he
your
tells him that,
well, your friend is very sick. It's okay if
yeah,
it helps him. It's okay to break the oath.
Ian tells him they went to the tower in the marshes. Doctor goes to the tower, Geiger counter in hand. He doesn't have it on though, Karen. He's just walking around without it on. And then he goes into the tower. He finds something dripping from the ceiling in the bottom section of the tower. He goes upstairs to see some kind of still question mark. He finds a man there, and that's apparently old Tom. And the doctor sees his canister from his lab on the shelf that had like cobalt in it or trivium or something.
Tritium,
Tritium, yeah.
which we can learn about. We'll talk about it later. I've talked too much.
Then we cut back to the lab, right? Right here, we're talking about
Well,
tritium
the old man does sleep in the tower, and he's got a
still.
still. He's got a still, and he's making liquor because he's
Very
trying to.
dark liquor.
Yeah,
It must
I
be
don't know
like
what
some
that was.
dark rum or something. Or
But he keeps trying to get the doctor to drink it, and he does see that he has his little
probably scotch,
container.
since it's Scotland.
Probably. Then they're back in. So then he
We're
goes
back
back
at
to
the
the
lab,
lab.
and we see his little experiment there is blowed up, Karen.
Well, his lab's been broken into, and the
Box of
container.
lead exploded.
Yeah, and the container was stolen.
And he talks about tritium. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
I
His
wrote
protector
trivium. I don't
his
know.
protective shield is broken. Peter comes in. Somebody's rolling their own cigarette. I don't know who. The lead is melted, and there's something. So they mentioned something here, and something's covering everything, like a powder or something, but you can't get it off your hands. He says, it'll
Like
just
blood.
dissolve in a while. I guess, but they never come back to tell us what that was.
No, but it always happens every time.
But tritium is. Someone mentioned somewhere that the tritium will lose its life. Oh, like he'll say, it's
Yeah, he
just.
mentions it right here.
But that radioactivity.
He's trying to accelerate that
Yes.
process.
So tritium does luminesce, but it decreases over time in half-lives. So the first half-life, where it will be half of its strength, is 12.3 years. So the brightness is reduced by half every 12.3 years. So after you have something like your watch or whatever, in 12.3 years, it'll be 50% of its original brightness. And after 24 years, it'll still be at 25%. So it doesn't really ever quite go away. It just half-lifes itself into non-existent because you can't measure it anymore. But you want to know what tritium's used for? Exit signs.
Yeah,
Because
probably on the street, the lines on the road.
I don't know about that. All it says here, exit signs.
Pretty much anything reflective, I would think.
Maybe.
But anyway, he shows or whatever that the tritium
I
is
assume
no
he
longer
says-
setting off the Geiger counter.
Yeah, I assumed he said tritium. Maybe they made up something, but all the other things they say are true. So
Okay, well, I
And he
was
does say
watching
it
1
luminescent.
1/4 speed, so maybe I missed the word.
I just assume that's what they said. Oh, but he says it hits radiation for 28 years, so it's pretty close.
Apparently, energy has been sucked out of it.
Yeah.
He says in his experiment or whatever. So then we see the cops looking for the doctor.
But he's not from Scotland Yard. He's from, we find out later.
Yeah, it's
Oh, no,
Mac.
he's from McGill. He's from the Atomic Energy Commission.
Yes, but he says, call me Mac. So that's
Yeah.
what I do.
Yeah.
He wants to do an investigation. Inspector Mac goes to talk to the doctor, tells him,
Well,
tell
he
him
says-
Mac.
It's funny because
Questions
he says,
the doctor. He wants to know what was in the container.
So Mac says he doesn't know anything about science, but he wants to talk to the scientist. Is this where they meet in the lunchroom?
Yep,
And he
I
tells him
believe.
he's from the Atomic Energy Commission. And the doctor says, "Well, that's impressive," or "That sounds very impressive." And Max says, "Yes, it does, except on payday." That was kind of funny. But yeah, they're talking in the lunchroom, like the cafeteria type place, asking about the child that was burned.
Yes. And then the boy dies, Karen. Radiation
I
poisoning,
was
apparently.
surprised by that.
Doctor and Mac arrive at the hospital just as the boy dies, and the parents are being escorted out. And then the dad comes out and confronts the doctor, calls him a murderer. Because he's not a doctor, he's a scientist, Karen.
Yes, he makes
He's not a
things that
medical doctor.
you're not a real doctor. That's what my nieces like to tell me when they were little. You're not a real doctor. I said, I never said I was. I think this is the, what do they call it? Devil's advocate or something. This is another view which people might have. He comes out and he says, "You're a scientist." He's yelling at him. You make things that kill boys. You make things that blow things up. You don't help people, you murder people. Like, they're giving that view in that moment from that character, I think.
And the doctor says he's wrong. They try to create, not destroy. I thought that was important, so I wrote it down, Karen.
Yes.
So then, who I thought was John enters the lab, but it's not John or it's not Peter. It's
Just
some
the
other
tech.
guy.
It's the radiation doctor.
Yeah. Enters the radiation room, followed by a nurse question mark. It's really
Well,
an X-ray room. That's what it is.
yes, it's the x-ray room. This guy comes out of that room, goes to the telephone and says, "How about now?"
Or
Hangs
he's
up
like
the
two
phone.
minutes.
Yeah, or something. And then
Whatever.
a very pretty nurse with the tiniest waist ever comes in. I noticed it because it says here, "Wow, her waist is tiny." They start kissy facing.
Yeah, they kissy face. And I wrote, apparently the guy brings the other nurses here too, but she don't care.
She doesn't mind.
She,
She wants to be part of the
yeah, she
party.
wants to be a part. Yeah, she wants to experience all that shit too.
I guess it's like hazing. You got to go with Dr. So and so into
And
the x-ray room.
all of a sudden, the equipment in the X-ray room turns on, and we hear Geiger counter sounds, and then we hear screams. He collapses after his hand expands,
Yeah.
or at least one finger on his hand.
But she's close enough that she should have gotten burned. There's a lot of
Well, she screams
inconsistency.
too.
But she's alive, isn't she?
Well, we never hear about her death. Maybe no one cares, Karen. I don't know. So then, Doctor and Mac investigating. Is there a safe with a hole burned through it in the X-ray room, Karen? I don't.
Yeah,
That's what
that's
it looked
where the
like.
radiation was.
Doctor deduces that whatever broke into the radiation room, X-ray room, came through the screen in the ventilation system. It can change shapes, Karen. We already know what it is.
And there's powder everywhere again. So he knows it's the same thing. Then he
Then we
talks about the oil.
cut to the men guarding the crack in the quarry.
Guarding the crack.
They're guarding the crack. That's what they're doing. Something starts glowing, question mark.
These are the two. So these two,
These are, they are in the credits, like very high up because I wrote them down. It's Haggis and Spider.
yeah. But they're kind of a little bit of comic relief through the whole thing.
They
They
are through the
kind
whole thing.
they were
Well,
the
up
ones,
until this point.
right. Then their comedy show ends. But they're the ones, "Oh, he's not going to find anything." And then they just talk about other things through the whole thing. And they have a bit going through the whole thing
Yes, every
until
now and then
now.
we cut back to them.
Yeah.
Something starts glowing. Um,
So
One
they,
of them goes to investigate. He screams. The other one goes to investigate. Geiger counter sounds again. He fires his machine gun. I wrote, it looks like a Thompson. Not
so
sure
did
if the
I. No.
British use Thompsons, but it looks like it. He screams and collapses.
So I said at this point, why is it killing these guys? Like it killed the radiation guy because
Maybe they're in its way. It's just
I
trying to
guess
get through the
trying to,
radiation. I don't know.
but there is no radiation. I guess it's going back into its home. It's going back into the fissure at this point.
Is it
I don't
going
know.
back?
I think
I
because
guess it
it
could
it
be.
had the radiation from the X-ray room. So I guess
Okay.
it's because they find out later that it travels in straight lines
Straight lines, yeah.
yes,
As you do, Karen.
whenever
Well, I
possible.
try to, because that is the shortest distance between 2 points. That's what I learned in geography in high school, Karen. So then Doctor and Mac arrive to check out the place. They find the guards missing. Apparently they melted, Karen, because they find some melted clothes or something. I don't know.
They find a beret and a melted gun, I think, right?
Yeah,
I
so
don't
then the
know.
doctor tells the others his hypothesis. He begins talking about the formation of the Earth. And then he starts talking about evolution, Karen. There's a lot of stuff in this. And then he asks, like they do on ancient aliens, is it possible that the forces at the center of the earth have evolved as well, Karen? Is it possible? Then he talks about gravitational pull on the earth that happens every 50 years, Karen, that causes a fissure in the earth. Forces are energy and they can only be fed by more energy, he deduces. So whatever this thing is, it feeds on energy. The men
Which
argue
is
about his
everywhere.
hypothesis.
You know, people are energy too. So
So then Doctor and Inspector Mac want to keep investigating. They go back to examine the crack in the earth. And then Peter says, hey, I'll go down in that crack and look at it if you like.
because he wants to be a scientist.
Yeah, so they lower him down.
And it
But
looks
then,
like Tinker Toys. He's on a swing. He's going down with his little flashlight.
and it's not even a mag light, Karen.
No.
But then, oops, they accidentally drop him.
Yeah.
But he's okay, Karen.
Yep.
But then he puts his hand on something. And I wrote, "Is a rock bites him?" What is that all about?
I think it has the mud on it.
All right.
Like,
And then he
because
sees
you're,
a skull.
if you're mud and you're going down, you're going to leave pieces of yourself. Like, you can't keep yourself all together. But the skull is, I think, one of the men,
Yes.
the soldiers,
And
haggis or whatever,
he's in
or
radio
spider.
contact with the people up above, and he tells them to keep lowering him. But then the Geiger counter starts going off, and then he yells to pull him up quickly. They
Yeah, so
pull
he
him up.
got close enough. He should have been burned,
They
but he's
pull
too
him up.
pretty.
He tells them about the body of a soldier he saw down there, and he tells them that what he saw was something out of a nightmare, Karen.
Yes.
So then we see the military guy telling Doctor that he's been ordered to concrete over the crack. They're going to fill it in, and he's going
It's
to
it's
do it that
bottom
evening.
it's bottomless. How are they going to fill that
Well,
in with?
apparently they think it is,
Yeah, so how do you fill that in with
but the
concrete?
concrete it's got mass to it, so it probably won't go to the bottom. It'll get to where it's you
Thin
know
enough?
thin enough that it.
Still going to be a hell of a lot of concrete, but whatever. And then why couldn't it
But
just
they
dig
did a
her?
hell of a job of pouring it in and leveling that shit out,
I
Karen. I'll
know.
give them
And
that. That's good British ingenuity.
no cat prints in that.
So then we see the military using flamethrowers and dropping explosives into the crack, and then they concrete over it. That's what we see.
Yeah,
Concrete
I
over
don't
it.
think why couldn't it just dig around the concrete to where the earth was? Seemed a little I would have expanded it a little if it was me, but whatever.
Well, you're an overachiever, Karen.
Yeah, if we got concrete to burn.
So then Mac goes to see the doctor, tells him what the soldiers have done. Doctor doesn't believe it will hold the creature, just like you, Karen.
See, scientists unite.
And he asks Mac how the army would kill Mud. How would you kill Mud? Or Mac smokes a Marlboro and tells the doctor he's been called back to London.
You can't kill mud. I'm like, it's not just mud, it's radiation. It's radiating down there, but whatever. Yeah, London's not impressed anymore. He's got to go back.
Doctor explains he's been working on an experiment to break apart atomic particles without an explosion. And it might take 6 months to perfect, Karen.
Yep, they don't have 6 months.
They don't have 6 months. Mac leaves, Then we see a blob, finally, Karen, bursting
Woohoo!
through the concrete.
Just as we said it would.
Cut to Mac on the phone, an army base or something, trying to ask to stay another day. Oh, can I just stay one more day? And we hear the Geiger counter, and the phone lines are bad. Karen,
Yeah.
all the phone lines are bad from here on out. Oh, he's at the police station because somebody reported people
Oh,
melting.
yeah, he
To the
is.
police.
People have melted.
He's
And the
going to leave when
policeman
he
doesn't
hears
believe
that.
it.
He's like, what? What was
But
that?
but Mac believes it.
So then Matt goes to investigate. Gets there and the car looks like it's been through a lava flow, I wrote. Cut to the doctor in the lab. Gets a phone call from Mac. Tells him that 4 people have melted. So then the doctor and the other guys run up to look at a survey map once they learn where the people melted in the car, and they try to predict where the blob will go next. Because every incident has been in a straight line from the crack in the earth to wherever the incident happened.
Doesn't seem to make sense, but whatever.
Mac arrives at the lab, and I wrote, "They're loading up cobalt to set a trap for the blob?" Question mark.
No, they're trying to get it out of there, I think. They've got to get it away, they said, to beyond where the creature can sense it.
Oh, I thought they were like taking it out to set a trap. That's what I thought.
Oh,
That's what they end up doing.
maybe I thought it was just to get it away from the people.
Could have been though.
But here's the thing about cobalt, Greg. It's not naturally
Go on, Karen.
It's not naturally radioactive. It's a stable isotope. Cobalt 59 becomes radioactive.
The hell you say?
Was cobalt 60 when bombarded with neutrons in a nuclear reactor. It's a strong gamma emitter used in cancer therapy. Cobalt 60 is. And they use it in medical equipment sterilization and it says non-destructive testing. I don't know what that is, but it can be cobalt 60 can be hazardous, causing tissue damage and increasing cancer risk due to its highly penetrating gamma rays. So you can use it to treat cancer, or it can cause cancer. But it's not normally radioactive unless you bombard it with neutrons. But they're trying to move it out away from where I thought where all the people are, but you could be right. It was a trap.
So then Geiger counter sounds again. Guarded the gate don't look so good, Karen.
But he does.
He does manage
Down
to
the
pull the fire alarm, and then he melts.
Yep.
The blob, as I call it, approaches the lab. It enters, and the doctor and the others go to higher ground. They go up on the second floor of a building.
I think it's getting larger too.
And they
Right?
believe they know where the blob is going when it is finished eating, so they think they will be able to trap it. They think they'll be able to trap it because they know it's going to go back to the crack in the earth or whatever. So then we cut to people evacuating and heading into the church, Karen, because that's where you go to evacuate, to the house of God.
It certainly wouldn't run over that.
But what the hell, Karen? The blob changes direction. It's not heading the same route as they thought. A helicopter radioing down to the others, letting them know which way it is heading.
It's going towards the church.
Yeah, at the church, a little girl's left outside. Oops. She runs to the cemetery, as you know, children do, and the blob breaks
It's a
through
toddler.
The wall and comes close to the girl.
Again,
Preacher.
she should have been burned.
Yeah.
But
I wrote preacher, but it's really a minister, probably. It's a proper term. Minister runs out and saves her.
yes, he makes the mom who finally noticed her child was missing wait at the doors, and he runs off to get the little girl.
And then I wrote they believe the blob is headed towards a large nuclear facility.
That would make sense.
Duh. They didn't know there was a large nuclear facility
Yeah,
near them.
There's new information for us.
All right, whatever. Then we see the doctor in the lab doing his experiments again, and the Geiger counter slowly stops going off, and the container starts glowing and it explodes. So this is when he's trying to
synchronize
He's trying to deactivate
frequencies or something.
Radioactivity of it. He's trying to break the atomic particles up or whatever.
Yeah, and so there was an explosion, and the doctor thinks, well, I can't do it because there's going to be too big of an explosion. But Peter, the
Peter,
one,
yeah, I wrote Peter hypothesizes that maybe the scanners were out of alignment.
they're out of synchronization. So Peter, the wannabe scientist, thinks that, oh, they were just maybe out of synchronization, and that could have, been the problem. And the doctor's like, well, yeah, that could have been it. Let's go for it.
They agree that they must try now to stop the blob. No time to worry about it now. Let's go. And they use cobalt as bait and drive it down into the quarry to try to lure the blob out.
So the blob is in the crack now. It's in the fissure. And they need to get the cobalt close enough to the edge so that the blob will come out so that they can turn on the frequency. So they've got like two food trucks there with the frequency things on the
With the
top.
scanners on the
Yeah.
top, yeah.
And then Peter's going to take, well, first another guy is going to take the cobalt down close to the,
But he can't drive a stick, Karen.
yeah, he can't do it. And so Peter's like, I'll do it. And he goes
Out of the
down.
way, I'll do it.
He gets close, but not close enough because it's not
But the
coming
doctor
out.
tells him not to get within 15 feet.
But
Very important. Tells
Does
him. Very
Peter
important.
listen? No, he doesn't.
No, he wants to be a fucking hero, Karen.
Yeah, and there's even not even a woman to impress, but he does it anyway. He backs up. So he gets impatient. He won't wait for the thing to come out. This thing can sense radioactivity all the way over in that faraway lab. But Peter's got to get closer because it's not going to come out when it's right next to the freaking crack in the
He
earth.
ain't got time. He's
No.
got to.
It's like now or never. And then when it doesn't come out immediately, he backs up further. And then, of course, he gets stuck in the mud. And everybody's freaking out. And here
Just as
comes
the
the
blob
blob.
comes out of the pit, yeah.
But then they turn on the scanners as it's coming out. And Peter escapes.
And the crack starts to flash. Cobalt starts to glow. Peter tries to drive away, but is stuck. You just went through like 3 paragraphs of my notes. I'm trying to catch up. Blob comes out of the pit. Peter frees the Jeep and drives away. So then Doctor turns on the scanners. The blob glows brightly as it is in between the 2 scanners. It explodes and bursts into flames. And I'm like, it's not a very large explosion. I was expecting a big explosion from what they were saying earlier.
Well, the whole point was to avoid an explosion,
Yeah.
though. But they
But
got
something
those.
that large should have been a huge explosion because in the lab, like a head of a pin was a very large bang. But anyway, they get the Geiger counters out. And then all of a sudden, boom, there's a larger explosion. But
There
no
you
one
go.
appears to be harmed.
No.
Then we have credits, the end.
Well, he says that shouldn't have happened. That's where
Second one.
yeah, that's where your sequel potential comes from. Well, that shouldn't have happened.
But it did. Hopefully it gone. All right, Karen, what did you think of the atomic cocktail?
It's atomic. Did you like it?
Mine has evaporated.
It's atomic, all right.
It's very boozy,
Yes.
but it's not bad. It doesn't
Mm,
taste boozy, really, I don't think.
I think it does.
It doesn't burn that much. It's okay.
It burns. I think it's just what your what is it? Your tolerance level is. Mine's a little lower than yours.
You're the whiskey girl, Karen. I don't understand.
I tell you, got to mix it.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. I don't think it's bad.
It'll get you there.
Yep. Anything we learned today, Karen?
Oh, we did a refresher on the Geiger counter.
Oh, duh.
Learned a lot about different radiations. That's probably it, right?
I have harmless radiation, radiation burrs, tritium, and cobalt 60.
There you go. And the Geiger counter. That's it.
And the Geiger counter.
That's pretty much all there was in there.
Lots of radiation shit, Karen, apparently.
Yep.
All right. Anyone you need to thank this week, Karen?
Well, we're always going to thank our listener. There are a lot of podcasts out there. Thanks for putting up with us. What about you, Greg? Who do you need to thank?
Karen, I'm going to once again thank the band Verse 13 for providing all the music in the Scary Spirits podcast.
The music definitely makes the podcast better.
Anything else, Karen?
Please drink responsibly.
Yes.
Thanks for listening to the Scary Spirits podcast, where the movies might be iffy, but the drinks are always solid. We would love to hear from you. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Scary Spirits Podcast, or go to our website, scaryspirits.com. And if you want the direct line, email us at info@scaryspirits.com. If you really want to help us out, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. And remember, always drink responsibly. See you next week.